चले बहनहि अवध ही शीर नाई। जाके सुमिरन तेरी नाश, नाम शत्रुहन वेद प्रकाश। देश्व भरण पोषण कर जोई, कर नाम प्रतस होई। जब तेरा रामा, जब तेरा राम ब्याही घर आई। नित्य नव मंगल मूड बधाई। सखा धाम में असरथ जाकी, जीतन कहन कहूँ रिपु की। जय राम श्री राम, जय राम श्री राम, जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम, राम जय जय सीता राम, जय जय राम। वह शोभा जु समझ सुख, कहत न बने खगेश। वरन शारद शेष सुखी, सुरस जान महेश सिया पति रामचंद्र की जय शरणम। बंदो पवन कुमार, खलबन पावक ज्ञान घना। जासु हृदय आगर, बसे राम शरचाप धरा। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। 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 नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ 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 नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। वासुदेव भगवान की जय। Devotees will glorify different aspects of divinity. The advice is, O mind, seek that Supreme Lord who has so many different forms, manifestations, all representing that one divine. The idea is to relentlessly pursue that divine. भजो मन हरि हर सुमेरो मन नारायण। भजो मन हरि हर सुमेरो मन नारायण। नारायण हरि नारायण हरि। नारायण हरि नारायण हरि। भजो मन हरि हर सुमिरो मन नारायण। भजो मन सूरज भजो मन चंद्र। भजो मन सूरज भजो मन चंद्र। भजो मन पवन सुमीर सुमीरो मन नारायण। भजो मन गौरी और गणेश। भजो मन गौरी और गणेश। भजो मन सती संग शिव सुमिरो मन नारायण। भजु मन सीता भजु मन राम, भजु मन राधा भजु मन श्याम, भजु मन सीता भजु मन राम, हनु हनु हनुमत बीर सुमिरो नम नारायण, भजु मन तुलसी भजु मन चंदन, भजु मन तुलसी भजु मन चंदन, भजु मन गवन के पीर सुमिरो मन नारायण, नारायण हरि नारायण हरि, नारायण हरि नारायण हरि, भजो मन हरि हरऊ सुमिरो मन नारायण, सुमिरो मन नारायण, सुमिरो मन नारायण। Devotees, we'll concentrate on Bhagavan Shankar. Simple bhajan, if you can listen carefully, you can repeat the words. Shivaji, we appeal to him as that divine boatman who can take us, each of us, the ship of life, across the ocean of duality. ओ अब शिव पार करो मोरे नैया, हो 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 औघत घात अगाध महाजल, औघत घात अगाध महाजल, बलि लगैन खेवैया, बलि लगैन खेवैया, हो अब शिव पार करो मोरे नैया, हो अब शिव पार करो मोरे नैया, हो बारी बरूबर बारी बहतु है, बारी बरूबर बारी बहतु है, तापर अति पुरवैया, हो आपर अति पुरवैया ते अब शिव पार करो मोरे नैया। हो अब शिव पार करो मोरे नैया हो। थर थर कांपत हिया जो मेरी, थर थर कांपत हिया जो मेरी। शिव की देत दोहैया, शिव की देत दोहैया। हो अब शिव पार करो मोरे नैया। हो अब शिव पार करो मोरे नैया हो। देवी सहाय प्रभात पुकारत, देवी सहाय प्रभात पुकारत। शिव पितु गिरिजा मैया, शिव पितु गिरिजा मैया रे मैया। हो अब शिव पार करो मोरे नैया। हे अब शिव पार करो मोरे नैया हो। करो मोरे नैया, करो मोरे नैया, करो मोरे नैया, करो मोरे नैया। हो अब शिव पार करो मोरे नैया। अब शिव पार करो मोरे नैया। हो अब शिव पार करो मोरे नैया। हो अब शिव पार करो। बोले शिव उमापति महादेव की जय। Jap. We do perform Havan devotees, Gayatri mantra. So all join together. Hari Om Tat Sat, Hari Om Tat Sat, Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha. Om Prajapati Swaha, Idam Prajapati Idam Namama. Om Indraya Swaha, Idam Indraya Idam Namama. Om Agnaye Swaha, Idam Agni Idam Namama. Om Somaya Swaha, Idam Somaya Idam Namama. Om Bhu Swaha, Idam Agni Idam Namama. Om Bhuva Swaha, Idam Vayavi Idam Namama. Om Swaha Swaha, Idam Suryaya Idam Namama. Gajanan Swami. Om Ganganapataye Namah Swaha. Om Ganganapataye Namah Swaha. Devi Ma. Om Hrim Shrim Chandikayai Namah Swaha. Kali Ma. Om Krim Kaliyai Namah Swaha. Om Krim Kaliyai Namah Swaha. Mahalakshmi Mata. Om Sri Mahalakshmi Mata Bhiho Namo Namah Swaha. Saraswati Ma. Om Shri Hrim Saraswatyai Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayan. Om Namo Bhagavate Narayanaya Swaha. Surya Narayan Swami. Om Sri Suryaya Namah Swaha. Om Namah Shivaya. Brahmagnaye Namah Swaha. Om Shri Ishtadevaye Swaha. Kuldevaye Swaha. Asthandevaye Swaha. Gramdevaye Swaha. Vastudevaye Swaha. Sarvadevta Sarvadevi Bhyo Namo Namah Swaha. Mrityunjay mantra jap. Remember, we do it with Bij mantra. It's in a bag one side. Alright. So devotee be concentrate on Bhagwan Shankar. Boli Shri Umapati Mahadev ki. Om Haum, Om Jum, Om Saha, Om Bhur, Om Bhuva, Om Swaha, Om Om Swaha, Om Bhuva, Om Bhur, Om Saha, Om Jum, Om Haum, Om Namah Shivaya, Swaha. offer some neem leaf. Yeah? Fix it 4 sides. Om Namaschandikaya Swaha. Om Krim Kaliyai Namah Swaha. Mahalakshmi Mata Bhyo Namo Namah Swaha. Om Shrim Hrim Saraswatyai Swaha. Google Shagarais. Om Sarvadevta Sarvadevi Bhyo Namo Namah Swaha. Achman. Om Sarva Papaharang Divyam Gangeyang Nirmalam Jalam Achmanang Chammayadatam Grahitam Purushotamaha Brahmagnaye Namaha. 25,000 murtis 5 times. Om Banaspati Rasodbhuto Gandhadhyo Gandhya Uttama Agheyang Sarvadevanang Dhupoyam Pratikrihitam. Bow to the fire. Brahmagnaye Namaha. Vani, bow. Take a flower. We concentrate on Lakshmi Mata. Om Namostestu Mahamaya Sipithe Surpujite Shankha Chakra Gadahaste Mahalakshmi Namostute. Om Lakshmi Karutu Kalyanam Arogyam Sukha Sampadam Mama Shatru Vinashaya Deepa Jyotir Namostute. Siddheshwari Mahalakshmi Mata Namo Namaha. Fixed by the diya. Bole Shri Mahalakshmi Mata ki jai. The last line of the mantra, the devotee says, Mama Shatru Vinashaya Deepa Jyotir Namostute. Mama Shatru, my enemy. So we are praying to Lakshmi Mata to destroy our enemies. Now, if we ask the question where the enemies are, most of us would like to believe that the enemies are on the outside. That's okay. But as far as I'm concerned, the enemies on the outside will self-destruct. I don't have to prove to Mata to destroy them. But the enemies inside, they destroy me. And this is where I need the help. I want that inner light to be lit so that the inner enemies, Kam, Krodh, Mad, Lobh, etc., hate, anger, lust, greed, jealousy, they'll be clearly discerned. We'll see them, incarcerate them, put them behind bars, as we say. They can't affect us. The enemies are more inside than outside. And this is something I want people to try to focus upon, because most of us, we're very much concerned about everything on the outside. But remember, it depends upon me how I perceive the world. It depends upon my level of development. I'll use a simple example. The color of lens that I wear determines the color I see everything. The mind is likewise. The mind is like the lens through which you perceive the world. What is the color of the mind? The mind is troubled, you see everything troubled. The mind is pleasant, you see everything pleasant. The mind is free from diseases, negativities. Not that they don't exist, but you don't focus on them. As a man thinketh, so he becometh. And this is a major problem that we all face. We're so concerned about the problems on the outside. As a man thinketh, so he becometh. You think problem, you think problem, you think problem, you become the problem. You don't blame the world. Each person is at the center of your own world. This world, you will hear, is false. Meaning what? It's unreal. Nothing lasts forever. Why gravitate towards the world? Pravriti marg, the scriptures say. Nivriti marg. Gravitate towards the spiritual world. And it all depends upon how we perceive things. And that will depend upon how pure we are. The scriptures tell us, devotees, simple. O man, obstacles are what we see when we take our eyes off our goals. Focus upon the supreme objective. Let nothing distract you. So, very simply said, devotees, Re man tu Govinda Govinda bol, Chana chana nisadin jata suvela, Yah jivan anamol. Re man tu Govinda Govinda bol. To echo the advice of Adi Shankar, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam Murhamate. Do what you have to do. Go through the whole processes. But where you put your mind is important. What your objective is important. What your real focus is important. And that real focus should be the Divine Himself. Nothing otherwise. So we are advised, O mind, seek that Lord. Re man tu Govinda Govinda bol, Re man tu Govinda Govinda bol, Re man tu Govinda Govinda bol, Re man tu. Chana chana nisadin jata suvela, Yah jivan anmol. Re man tu Govinda Govinda bol, Re man tu Govinda Govinda bol. उम्र गई बहुत थोड़ी बाकी, डगमग हो मत दो। उम्र गई बहुत थोड़ी बाकी, डगमग हो मत दो। हरि नाम का रतन लगा के, हरि नाम का रतन लगा के, मन में अमृत घोल। मन तू गोविंद गोविंद बोल, रे मन तू गोविंद गोविंद बोल। श्याम सुंदर की बांसुरिया नित बोलत मीठी बोल। श्याम सुंदर की बांसुरिया नित बोलत मीठी बोल। ए दर्शन पाना जो तू चाहे, दर्शन पाना जो तू चाहे, तू मन मंदिर खोल। मन तू गोविंद गोविंद बोल, रे मन तू गोविंद गोविंद बोल। झूठा जगत सत्य परमेश्वर, ज्ञान तराजू तो। झूठा जगत सत्य परमेश्वर, ज्ञान तराजू तो। एक कर लो मिश्र भजन अब कुछ दिन, कर लो मिश्र भजन अब कुछ दिन, लगे दाम नहीं मोल। मन तू गोविंद गोविंद बोल, रे मन तू गोविंद गोविंद बोल। छन छन निस दिन जात सुबेला, यह जीवन अनमोल। मन तू गोविंद गोविंद बोल, रे मन तू गोविंद गोविंद बोल, रे मन तू। The Lord is everywhere, devotees. Hari Vyapak Sarvatra Samana. Why don't we see Him? The sages admonish us. You want to see that Lord? Darshana Pana jo tu chahe, tu mana mandir khol. You have to open the eyes of the mind. What this means? the mind is clouded by impurities. As Devi Ma mentioned to Himalaya, Devi Gita, Devi Bhagavat, Kama Krodhau Lobha Mohau Mad Matsarya Sangyakau. You have to get rid of these internal impurities. Mama Shatru Vinashaya Deepa Jyotir Namoskute. Ma, guide me along so I can remove these inner enemies. Purify the screen of the mind. And then I will come to realize, Jutha Jagat, the world is false, meaning it is changeable. Everything is changeable. The only thing constant is change. Satya Parameshwar. The real, the only reality that exists is that Lord. Unchangeable. The advice is to seek Him. Relentlessly pursue Him. Devotees, as I said, you continue life's duties, but everything should be done, as the Gita has said, as an act of offering to that divine. How then can we go wrong? If I do like that, it's like I'm seeking that Lord. Bhaja Govindam. E Murmate, Bhaja Govindam. Let's seek Him. Krishna, Krishna, Yaduvara Krishna. Shri Krishna, Krishna, Yaduvara Krishna. Murahara Keshava, Yadava, Madhava. Murahara Keshava, Yadava, Madhava. Krishna, Krishna, Yaduvara Krishna. Shri Krishna, Krishna, Yaduvara Krishna. Murari Manohara Krishna Murari. Murali Manohara Krishna Murari. Krishna Murari Shama Murari. Krishna Murari Shama Murari. Murahara Keshava Yadava Madhava. Murahara Keshava Yadava Madhava. Krishna Krishna Yadavara Krishna. Shri Krishna Krishna Yadavara Krishna. Krishna Krishna Yaduvara Krishna. Jai Jai Krishna Krishna Yaduvara Krishna. Shri Krishna Krishna Yaduvara Krishna. So devotees, again the emphasis upon the importance of divinity in our lives. And the scriptures have been composed to guide us along, to help us to understand how important it is that that divine is an integral part of our lives. Devotees, we have been hearing Bhagavan Shankar assume different forms. Now there is one particular form which we are going to focus on this morning. I'm not too sure whether we'll complete it, but if not, we'll continue. Now, Nandishwar is relating Katha to Sanat Kumar, the four brothers, the child sages. Nandishwar relating various कथाs of भगवान शंकर. तब नंदीश्वर बोले, अब शिव जी के उस किरात नामक अवतार को सुनो जिन्होंने शुकर को मार अर्जुन को वर दिया. O Sanat Kumar, listen to this episode of the manifestation of Shiva as Kirat, a hunter. He appeared in this form, destroyed a demonic force who assumed the form of a boar. And Bhagavan Shankar also gave Bardhan to Arjun, the great Pandava prince. So it all went back to this. जब श्रेष्ठ पांडवों को दुर्योधन ने जुए में हरा दिया तो वे अपनी साध्वी द्रौपदी को साथ ले द्वैत वन में जाकर सूर्य से प्राप्त स्थाली पर अपना जीवित सुखपूर्वक व्यतीत करने लगे। तब दुर्योधन ने पांडवों को कष्ट देने के अभिप्राय से ऋषि पुंगवा दुर्वासा को अनेक स्थान पर भेज एक और ही कपट करवा दिया, जिससे हजारों विद्यार्थियों को साथ ले दुर्वासा ने जाकर इच्छा अनुसार भोजन मांगा। पांडवों ने स्वीकार कर उन तपस्वियों को स्नान के लिए भेजा। Devotees, it is said, the foremost of those princes, the Pandavas, with their cousins, the Kauravas. This is part of Mahabharata. The Kauravas were the sons of Dhritarashtra, the blind king. The Pandavas were the sons of Pandu, the brother of Dhritarashtra. So these two sets were cousins. Pandu had died. Dhritarashtra, he was blind, but he was the king. So as we go along a little bit, I'll point out to you, if I don't want to take up too much time talking about that, and then we can't do much with the katha. So Duryodhan, he was, let's say, the wicked one amongst the Kauravas. They were all wicked, but he was the ringleader, as we say, the eldest. Yudhishthir, the Pandavas, Yudhishthir, Bhim, Arjun, Nakul and Sahadev, 5 of them. The Pandavas, 100 sons. So I can't call you 100 name. I don't want to do Shatstotra with these demons. Duryodhan and Dushasan, 2 main ones. Duryodhan, devotees, ever since he was small, he had enmity with the Pandavas. And I'm sure many a times you would have seen that cousins grow up like this. Instead of as brothers, always jealousy and, envy and so on, this one trying to cut down the other one. This is maybe part of our genetic makeup, I don't know. But the fact is, Duryodhana have been trying from ever since. They were small. And he had a special vengeance for Bhim. Because Bhim was very powerful. Now, we will not deal with all that. Let's get to the point. The Pandavas tried their best to steal the kingdom from the Pandavas. The Kauravas tried their best to steal the kingdom from the Pandavas. Now, Pandu was the eldest. And naturally, Yudhishthira should have been king. But greed. One of the gateways to hell. Lust, anger, and greed, according to Gita, these are 3 gateways to hell, meaning pain, suffering, and self-destruction. The Duryodhana devotees tried in various ways, but we come to the point where he challenged Yudhishthira to a gambling match. Now Yudhishthira is called Dharamraj, but he had one little vice: gamble. Now he wouldn't gamble just like that, but he was challenged to a gambling match. And as a Kshatri, he couldn't resist and refuse that gambling match. Duryodhana, on the other hand, he got his maternal uncle. We normally call him Mamu. He got Shakuni, who was very versed in dice, in loading the dice, in cheating at dice, to sit with him and play. And the long and short of it, devotees, is a long thing, Mahabharata, very beautiful. Yudhishthira lost everything. He lost everything. The kingdom, when you're gambling, you bet, right? You have to put what does he bet? The kingdom, your car, your what? Devotees, he lost everything. As a matter of fact, Draupadi was the consort of the 5 Pandavas. Duryodhana was so wicked and vile to taunt the Pandavas even more. He said, "You have given away everything. Draupadi is still here. Gamble Draupadi." This is how wicked this man was. And devotees, of course, Yudhishthira lost, because the dice was loaded. But then the elders stepped in at that point in time. They didn't step in before. At that point they said, no, this bet is invalid. Because Yudhishthira had lost everything. He had no control over Draupadi at that point. How could he gamble away Draupadi? So Draupadi was set free. And devotees, the bet was what, you know what? If you lose Yudhishthira, you, the five of you with Draupadi will go to the forest for 12 years in exile. The 13th year, you have to remain in exile, and if any one of you is recognized, anyone is recognized during the course of the 13th year, another 12 years again. That was the bet. The whole idea was to get rid of them. So devotees, Duryodhana won because of cheating, but in effect, Yudhishthira lost. So gambling is not good. Gambling is a vice, not good. It is addictive and it is destructive. Bear that in mind. Even Yudhishthira, look at his condition now. So devotees, these five were in the forest and they were living comfortably. Now it is said Suraj Narayan, that divine force, gave them a special vessel that they would cook. You know, it had a power in it. But the problem is that once you cook devotees, you can't cook again twice for the day, one time. Now in today's world, like common, right? As a matter of fact, not once for the day, but once for the week. You cook and you put in the fridge, freeze. All right. But devotees, this pot was here. Once you cook, you eat, that's it for the day. Nothing again. Duryodhana, to further aggravate, terrorize, to pressurize the Pandavas, he sent a very powerful sage whose name was Durvasa. Now Durvasa had a temper, but he was very powerful. Now, we will look at it and see, sometimes we may want to wonder, how could he use this holy man? But everything has a bigger plan, devotees. And when a person plays with fire, he must get burned. So we look at it and see what happens. Durvasa was told to go to the Pandavas. Now, not Durvasa alone. Durvasa had 10,000 chelas. 10,000 chelas. Carry all of them. And this is to harass the Pandavas. When you go to the Pandavas, they want to extend hospitality to you. The holy men came. You can't send them back without eating or drinking something. It is unethical. You can get a shrap for doing so. Devotees, this was the kind of setup that Duryodhana set up the Pandavas. Durvasa, together with his 10,000 chelas, he reached to that part in the forest where the Pandavas were living very comfortably. They were welcomed and so on, and hospitality, bhojan. But the problem was that they already used the pot for the day. They already used the pot for the day. So this is dharam sankat. They have to extend hospitality, but now they cannot, they have no means of preparing meals, and not for Durvasa alone, 10,000 chela, and I'm sure everyone had a very good appetite. So devotees, they were very distressed. Pandavas, this is mental distress. There are different ways I can terrorize you. Physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, different ways. The wicked man tries everything. The Pandavas devotees were quite stressed out. They said, okay, holy ones, go take your bath, refresh yourself and come back. But the problem is, where are they going to get all this food from? Where? And devotees, as I said, they had already eaten, nothing in the pot, so they thought. What to do now? They felt as committing suicide. Because they would prefer to die than, have this kind of, disgrace. That, the sages have come for bhojan, and they couldn't give them bhojan, couldn't give them meals. They prefer to die. Very depressed. Very, very depressed. But then devotees, Draupadi, we know that she was a great devotee of Bhagwan Sri Krishna. Arjun was the friend of Bhagwan Sri Krishna. That relationship Bhagwan had with Arjun, Sakhya Bhav, friendship. Devotees in time of difficulty, problems, when we are helpless, totally helpless, what can we do? To whom can we turn? And there was no one else to turn to except Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Draupadi devotees, she focused her mind upon that Kanhaiya, seeking his timely intervention. She focused upon him, mentally calling upon him. Bansidhara Kanhaiya Ghanashama Sundara Giridhari Gopabala Vrindavana Vihara Bansidhara Kanhaiya Ghanashama Sundara Giridhari Gopabala Vrindavana Vihara Bansidhara Kanhaiya Ghanashama Sundara Govinda Madhava He Madhusudana Mukunda Govinda Madhava He Madhusudana Mukunda Madhusudana Mukunda Madhusudana Mukunda Radhe Gopal Radhe Gopal Radhe Gopal Radhe Radhe Gopal Radhe Gopal Radhe Gopal Radhe Bansidhara Kanhaiya Ghanashama Sundara Sincerely devotees, and being always close to Bhagavan Sri Krishna, it wasn't a problem to feel his presence, to tap into that divine energy, because she was always in this way close to Bhagavan Sri Krishna. She didn't have to make too much of a great effort. And devotees, Bhagavan knows, he's Sarvagya. If they said, Bhagavan appeared, Bhagavan Krishna. He said, oh Draupadi, I'm hungry, give me something to eat. Now that was the problem. Nothing to eat. And he came with another problem, he also hungry. So as the story goes, devotees, Draupadi said, oh Krishna, that is the problem. The Durvasha and 10,000 sages waiting to eat. We have already used the pot, we have nothing in it. Krishna said, oh Draupadi, check, there must be something, check. And devotees, it could be obedient sometimes. Draupadi, through the grace of Bhagavan Sri Krishna, when she fell into the pot, she got one little piece of leaf remaining. You know how the leaf gets inside here? And she offered that, she said, Bhagavan Sri Krishna said, Draupadi, you see, look, there is something, give it to me. And devotees, what the Gita says, Patram pushpam phalam toyam. God not hungry, no? A flower, a fruit, a drop of water, grain of rice, whatever we offer with the right attitude, the Lord personally partakes of it. Bhagwan took that leaf, great joy, he partook of it. And when he ate that leaf, devotees, you know, they say when you eat and you burp, that's why long time they make the baby burp, you know. Feed them, burp them, that means you're satisfied. Bhagwan burped, and immediately those 10,000 sages with Durvasha, everybody began to burp the belly full right up to the throat, as we say. Miraculously, everybody was satisfied, satiated. Nobody was hungry anymore. And they found themselves in a situation that we were told to come and eat, but no, we can't eat. Better let's run away from here. And they all dispersed. They didn't come. Bhagavan Krishna championed the cause of the Pandavas there at that point in time by simply just partaking of one leaf. So the Pandavas were quite happy. They were quite happy. So now Bhagavan Sri Krishna, he looked at the Pandavas who were always in stress because of all the different happenings. Sri Krishna ji ki kripa se Pandavon ka yah sankat tal gaya. He removed that unhappiness, that problem from them. And then what he did? Sri Krishna ji Pandavon ko Shiv Aradhan bata Dwarika chale gaye. Bhagavan Shankar said, oh, my friends, if you want to avoid all troubles, difficulties, obstacles in life, then you should perform Shiv Aradhan, worship of Bhagavan Shankar. Worship Shiva. Now devotees, I think it was Shivratri night I mentioned to you all how Upamanyu advised Lord Krishna how to worship Shiva. So this was what what Krishna Bhagavan told them. On the advice of Upamanyu Muni, I worship Shiva and I'm very successful, achieving victory over enemies, etc., as we heard on that night. So he said, if you want success in life, you must worship Shiva. You must worship Shiva. You have to worship Shiva. Shiva is the destroyer. And I mentioned to you, he drank the poison that came out of the ocean. It's not a physical thing. Shivaji symbolizes that state of dispassion and the poisons of materialism. All the problems we have, all because of materialism. Shiva consumes it. Meaning, if I develop that power of dispassion, these things are ineffective against me. This is what is meant by Shiva consuming the poison. And you cannot expect to be worshipping Shiva. Shiva, 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 and materialism killing you. That is a contradiction. Understand the point I'm making to you, devotees? It is either you're not doing what you're doing the way you're supposed to do, but the scriptures could never be wrong. Never. This is why Bhagavan Krishna told them, worship Shiva. But devotees, did they worship Shiva? Sometimes things happen, When words come here, it bounces back. If you're lucky, it goes straight through the ears. If you're very lucky, it goes through the catchment area, the channel of the ears to the catchment area of the heart, which is where it's supposed to be. And then you act upon it. This is where the problem is. We hear so many things. What do we act upon? 1 ounce of practice is better than many tons of theory, as the Shankaracharya used to say. The Pandavas devotees, they didn't begin any worship of Shiva. Instead, what they did? पश्चात पांडवों ने दुर्योधन के गुणों की परीक्षा करने के लिए उनके पास एक भील को भेजा. To find out about Duryodhan, Bhagavan told them, worship Shiva, you'll be removed, all your problems will go away. They decided to check out Shiva, Duryodhan. So they sent a hunter, a bhil, into the kingdom to see what Duryodhan is doing, what his powers are, his influence, everything about him. A spy, no? वह दुर्योधन के पास उसके गुणोदय को जान पांडवों के पास आया। उससे दुर्योधन का गुण सुन पांडव बड़े दुखी हुए। युद्ध का विचार किया, परंतु उपयुक्त समय न जानकर मौन रहे। Devotees, when this bill came back, the news wasn't good for the Pandavas. That Duryodhana is firmly entrenched. He has plenty of support. And as we know, Mahabharata war, the Kaurava army was bigger than the Pandava army. And this is why I keep telling people all the time, the majority is not always right. Dare to be different, but on the right side. Don't compromise principles. The Pandavas never compromised their principles. The Kauravas did. But a lot of people support. You get plenty support, for the crowd pleasers. Not the crowd pleasers. Yeah. So when you see you judged by how much people there is, you bounce in your head. If you analyze how many stupid people there are who are caught up with whatever, superficial things, do you dare to be different? Or do you get plenty strength in numbers? Devotees, the Pandavas felt depressed because the Kauravas firmly entrenched, powerful armies, etc. Now, further more depression for them now, what to do? Should we attack? But according to the bet they had, no war, you can't fight. You have to stay in the forest. How could they not break their word? And they will never break their word. A man without word is a man without honor. So devotees, they were very, very depressed for yet another time. Now notice, Krishna Bhagavan came, they felt good. Before that, they were depressed. Bhagavan went back, but now they're depressed again. Watch what is happening, and you're going to see a pattern in life. Everybody has to understand that. There's a pattern in life. Devotees, so they're all in a state of distress. Very, very, they remain very quiet, silent, not even talking to each other. But things always happen. Paschat jata jud vibhushat rudrakshadhari bhasmal gaye vyas ji om namah shivay panchakshari mantra japte unke samaksh aaye. पांडवों ने देखा तो व्यास जी शिव के प्रेम में मग्न तेज पुंज साक्षात दूर से धर्म के समान ही शरीर धारण किए थे। ऐसे व्यास जी को देख पांडवों ने खड़े उनको अभ्यर्थना की और कुशासन पर बैठा विविध प्रकार से उनका पूजन किया। Who came there, devotees? In times of distress. Now always remember this. When you are in distress, if you're doing the right things in life, devotees, you go through a period of distress, but something always happens. In the form of somebody coming, some occurrence, some incident always takes place to give you a push to go forward, to make you be strong. If you're doing the right things. If you're not doing the right things, this doesn't happen. You've been kicked more. You go down the drain. This is why, no matter what the circumstances, do not compromise your principles. Do not. Do not. Because it is you who lose out in the long run. So devotees, the Pandavas, yes, who came there? Vedyas, Jata, like another Lord Shiva, ashes rubbed over his body, Rudraksh, Mala, etc. Om Namah Shivaya, and devotees shining brilliantly. Tapasya Shakti, Bhakti Shakti. Now you think to come into contact with a sage is just like that? You have to be well blessed. Something well good has to happen. Or something well good is about to happen when you come in contact with a sage. As opposed to when you come in contact with a dusht, something bad bound to happen. So devotees, these Pandavas were overjoyed. And without going into detail, Vyasji happened to be the grandfather of the Pandavas. Now I won't go into detail, right? But Duryodhan, Pandav, Pandu, and Vidur, Ved Vyas is their father. And these here, the Pandavas, happen to be the sons of the king and Pandu. So therefore, Ved Vyas is Aja, grandfather. So when we do Mahabharata, we could look more at that, but you see, people have to have a certain degree of maturity to understand these kind of things. So I wouldn't go there, but just touching it. So devotees, they saw their grandfather, so to speak. But not only that, they saw this great sage, Vedvyas, part manifestation of the divine. Devotees, body quivering with ecstasy, they welcomed him. They prepared a special seat, put their skin, kush grass, prepared a nice seat, fit for a sage. And devotees, they worshipped him. They worshipped him to their heart's delight. At that point in time, of course, forgetting their distresses. Great joy in their hearts. What a wonderful this is, wonderful experience this is for a holy man to come to your place. And devotees, they began to reflect, Yudhishthira did, that, you have to have some good karmas. Something good is about to happen to come in contact with such a person as Vedvyas. So I wouldn't want to take up too much time talking about that. The whole point is that they understand how blessed they were. Their goodness, their sacrifices brought Vedvyas to them, to give them some support at that point in time, in down moments. So devotees, Vedvyas looked at them, he realized the unhappiness, and then Vedvyas, Yudhishthir, he asked Vedvyas, "Hey Nath, तो यह तो आपने सत्य ही कहा, क्योंकि वे दुरात्मा हो हमको यहाँ वन में निरंतर कष्ट ही पहुँचाया करते हैं। फिर भी हे प्रभु, मेरे अशुभ को कष्ट करो और शुभ दान दो।" पहले श्री कृष्ण ने भी यही कहा था कि तुम लोगों को शंकर जी की आराधना करनी चाहिए, जिसमें हमने प्रमाद किया। अतएव अब हमें उस मार्ग का उपदेश कीजिए। So devotees, discussion and so on, Vedvyas trying to uplift them, motivate them. They ask a question, Yudhishthira did, "Lord, O Holy One, is there anybody like us suffering so many problems?" Now everybody wants to believe that your problem goes in everybody else's problem. So Yudhishthira was asking, is there anybody else? Anywhere else? Anybody who have undergone such troubles that we are undergoing? Vedvyas smiled. And devotees, if you think you have problem, there's always somebody who has more problem than you. Vedvyas said, "Nal, Raja Nal." He didn't go in details, he explained to them. And perhaps one that you might understand, remember devotees, Raja Harishchandra. He said, "Raja Harishchandra." You listen to that katha, devotees, you must cry. The Pandavas, nothing compared to what Harishchandra ji went through. Yeah? Vedvyas is saying, "Prabhu Sri Ram, about to be coronated Prince Regent of Ayodhya Puri, sent into exile for 14 years. How many things happened? Father died." Devotees, in other words, look at how many have undergone such trials and tribulations, difficulties. So you're not alone in this. And devotees, the point was made. Life is filled with misery. Now many people think, you want happiness, you want happiness, you want happiness. I've said time and again, in the world of duality, a stick has two ends. You can't have a stick with one end. You want happiness, you must get unhappiness. But I put it in my own way. Devotees, life is a series of pain, punctuated by a few moments of happiness. This is the same thing Vedvyas is saying here. Yeah? That no matter what, from the time things start to go good, misery develops. You always have misery. And devotees, for those people who, and Pandits who read Garu Puran, and Garu Puran tell you that, there's just cauldron of boiling oil, and whoever will dip you in the oil and pull you out, and dip you in the oil and pull you out, this is what I say this represents. The world is the cauldron of hot oil, all of us. Time and again we are dipped into it, like the Pandavas here. Sri Ram, Raja Harishchandra, Raja Nal, all of us, when problems take us, anybody here could say you never had problems? That is when you dipped in the hot oil, and then you pulled out, things good for a while, only to be dipped into the hot oil again. One thing for sure, you're going into the hot oil. Everybody, until you're free from bondage. You see? So devotees, something to pay attention to, and the sages, this is why they live in the world with a state of equanimity. Now, just to put it like this, problem, happiness, problem, happiness. There are times, I keep saying, sometimes I'm scared to laugh. Because I know you're going to cry sometime shortly afterwards. So then how do you live your life? Too much happiness, too much depression. No. Strive for equanimity. Stability of mind. If the mind is stable, focused, you're in a good place. This is why scriptures say, praises, infamy, treat both alike. Success, failure, treat it alike. You see, expectation is the cause of unhappiness. Asha dukhasya karanam. I want this, I expect that. So therefore I set up myself. When it doesn't happen, I am depressed. You see? So the scriptures are telling us here, devotees, borne by so many examples, you strive for equanimity. That this passion must be in the mind. And how can it come? How can it come? When Vedvyas mentioned all these things, the Pandavas now came to the senses. They said, oh yes, O Holy One, Bhagwan Krishna did tell us to worship Bhagwan Shankar. And Vedvyas himself is saying, to rise beyond all these, you have to worship Shiva. Shiva provides the solution to all these life's problems. So this is the point I'm making, devotees, this passion. Right? The Pandavas were advised, but they didn't take it on. Now, further problems. How else again can I survive? The only way I can survive in this world, devotees, is to develop that state of this passion. This passion. Being unaffected in the world, but not of the world. Letting go. Now, it can't happen overnight. It is a process. But unless we reach to that point, devotees, we'll always be in the hot oil and out of the hot oil. It all depends on us. Now, this is nothing new now, but it's whether we intend to practice it or not. Right? Sometimes, these things are said to us. From the time we are finished, hot oil, we're in pain. Or you're free, nice, devotees. When are we going to strike that middle point? Now, each person your own journey, and just remember this: you set up yourselves. We set up ourselves because of our expectations. Scripture is clear about that. It's not God. Not God. Asha dukhasya karanam. Strive for that point of santosh, contentment, Shiva, this passion. Devotees, so the Pandavas fully recognize that now, that they have to do this because Vedvyas himself is telling them, worship Shiva. But then Vedvyas said, as Yudhishthira asked, tell us how we should worship Shiva, what to do, what is the methodology, so we can worship Shiva to have our distresses removed. And devotees, Bhagwan Vedvyas, he listened to what they said, and he said, okay, amongst the 5 of you, there is one who has the capacity to undergo the kind of sacrifices necessary to bring about the removal of your problems, the Pandava problems. There's one. And who is that? Arjun. Arjun. Arjun is the one who has the capacity to perform the intense sacrifices. But the rest of you will worship normally, as you normally do, but a special sacrifice has to be done so that Arjun will be in a position to get the grace of Shivaji to help you to remove all the distresses that confront you. Vedvyas is telling them this. He's saying, Shivji ki seva na karne se hi sare dukh prapt hote hai. You do worship Shiva, all forms of unhappiness, pain, discomfort will come to you. Worship Shiva. And so now he said, but Arjun, you are chosen to do this. But first, you have to understand and be initiated into the worship of Indra. The law of Indra, L-O-R-E. The pathway of Indra. Who is Indra? Indra is said to be the king of the devatas. But devotees, again I've mentioned time and again, Indra, Indriya ko daman karna, control the senses. We only say so, Can we control the senses? You have certain techniques, certain practices. When they say worship of Indra, this is what is implied. If you do not have that discipline of the mind and senses, how can you worship? When the senses gravitate towards the world, how can you develop Shiva, this passion? When the senses are caught up with material things. name, fame, position, power, etc., etc. And you say you're worshipping Shiva, don't fool yourself. You have to know what you're doing. So devotees, initiation, special, and Vedvyasji, he did that initiation for Arjun to prepare him. And notice, you don't just jump into a worship just on the devotees. Sometimes somebody says, I'm feeling to do this and I do that. You don't jump into things just like that. Sometimes you have to be guided, instructed, what mantras to say, etc., before you get into any kind of practice. This is the problem we have in today's world. Because of knowledge open on all sides, many times people feel the priests keep back the knowledge to themselves. It's not that, you know. Right? You put all the weapons outside there, and every child pick it up and they'll destroy themselves. I have to make sure you are prepared for something before I could put you on that pathway. But this is internet. I get it from the internet. I could Google it. I could do this. Go ahead. But there are certain techniques you wouldn't get from internet and Google. No. No. This is the power in Hinduism. Not that the sages want to hold control. We pass it over to you, but you have to be prepared for it. If you're not prepared, you can self-destruct. The same thing we do to help us, if not done right, can destroy us. Devotees, simple mantra. Those who study Sanskrit will know. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodaya. Listen to what I'm saying. Om Bhur. You have many Om Bhur. Bhuva Swaha. Is that the mantra? We think we know it. We think we know it. No. If you don't say bhur, you say bhur, it creates a different effect on you. This is why you have to learn it. Don't tell me you say with love in your heart, and don't tell me no crap like that. Right? You have to have the right one, especially these mantras and so on. They are given with certain techniques. Pronunciation. Bhur, bhuva, swaha. That's savitur varenyam. Bhargo, not bargo. Bhargo, devasya, not devasya. Dhimahi, not dhimahi. You have to get the Sanskrit, each Sanskrit letter has a particular energy. There is a particular part of the human body, energy center. You don't say it right, devotees, you're in problem. Notice earlier on, we had Mahakalai Swaha. Cream Kalais, and I try to interject. Cream Kaliyai Swaha, Cream Kaliyai Swaha, Cream Kaliyai Swaha. It's not Kalai Swaha. Kaliyai, Kaliyai. A is something different. These mantras are important. So devotees, this is why it's important to be in a place where you can learn these things. You don't get to pick up a book or pick up a CD and learn it just and think you know it. It does not happen. You have plenty problems with that. Hear what I'm telling you. So you see devotees, simple worship. But Vedvyas initiated Arjun. So you would make no mistake. Make sure you tap into the right energies so the right successes will come. So devotees, right energy, right initiation, and Om Namah Shivaya, powerful mantra. When that initiation was done, and the way to practice and so on to bring control, Indriyas, the senses, there was a brilliance about Arjun. You could, the other Pandavas saw that. That just after this initiation, how he appeared. Energy. Energy takes many forms. We always say you pray plenty, you do the right things, there is a glow about you. The aura about you, nobody could hide. You play games, you're exposed. Nobody could hide. Yeah? Devotees, when Yudhishthira and the others saw this, they were very pleased and happy that something is going to happen. Arjun is on the right path. He's going to help us find a solution to our problems. And then Bhagavan, Vedvyas, he said, Oh Arjun, what I want you to do. Arjun, go to that mount we call Indrakil. Indrakil Parbat ke nikat, Ganga ji ke tad par tap karne. Chali gayi. Arjun was advised, go to that place called Indralok. So where Indralok is? Indralok is in heaven, where heaven is. Here they say Indralok, where the Ganga flows. Where does Ganga flow? Devotees in the Himalayan mountains. You have to understand all these things again. Pandits have to understand this. People will have to understand this. It's not outside. Kailash Parbat. Right? Indralok, a particular place here, Ganga flows. So it has to be upon earth. In the Himalayan mountains. That mountain was called Indrakil, otherwise called Indralok. Go to that spot to Arjun, where the Ganga flows, and there you perform austerities to, well, worshipping Indra. The first part of it, before you could go to Shiva, to bring the total control over the mind and elements. And so devotees, the Pandavas were advised, you maintain Chitrahana, you remain right here. Sarvada Dharma, Sarvada Dharme Sthit Rahata Rahana. Maintain all your principles. Notice, they were not going, but what was their input? Maintaining the Dharma. So somebody in the family making a sacrifice to help the family, the rest not eat, drink, make merry when you're dead, bury, Dhakoli, all kind of thing. You all have to make sacrifices. The family makes sacrifices. It bears fruits. The Pandavas were told, maintain the discipline. There is no doubt success is going to come. Positive attitude. You start off with that. But many things will happen in between. From the starting point to the end point. But as I said, obstacles are what we see when we take our eyes off our goals. So devotees, Arjun went to that part of the mountain, Indrakil, where the Ganga flowed. He found a beautiful spot. And he began to worship. He began to worship Indra. And they said, this illumination grew even more. And in that area, the disciples of Indra, they saw this huge kind of column of light, brilliance. What is this? When they went and told Indra, Indra told them, don't worry, I'll go and see. Now devotees, who is Indra to Arjun? From the story perspective. Indra is Arjun's father. Yeah. Kunti, the mother of the Pandavas, she had a blessing. She could invoke different aspects of divinity. And so she can, become pregnant. And that was what she did to invoke. Karna was the first one she invoked Suraj Narayan, experimenting. And Karan was born. The Karna is the brother of the Pandavas. He was born with armor and so on attached to his body. He couldn't be defeated. So all this is little secrets from scriptures, which we don't really hear about. Because we can't understand these things too much. So we take it in a gross biological sense. No, it's a power she invoked with mantra. And so Arjun was born. Yudhishthir, the five of them, divine powers, divine energies she invoked. Yeah. But Karna was out of marriage. You see, so he was kind of, that's why they abandoned him. If you hear the story. Abandoned him, and that charioteer picked him up and trained him and so on. And this was why Duryodhan made him special. So he stuck with Duryodhan. He didn't come with his brothers, the Pandavas. So if you want to put it, illegitimate child. Yeah, outside. Experimentation of Kunti. This is why powers and all, be careful. You could experiment and you could destroy yourself. Set up yourself badly. Devotees, if you don't understand too much about what these things I'm saying, you could always ask me afterwards. I could give you maybe some other time you could deal with these things. But it's good to understand. So Indra actually was the father of Arjun. That power was here. Yeah. So this is perhaps one of the reasons why Ved Vyas told him, worship Indra first. Get that power within yourself, and that will take you to Shiva. Devotees, Indra came there. What he did, he assumed the form of a Brahman, a brahmachari. And he tried to discourage Arjun. What are you doing? A young man like you? You're wasting your whole life doing stupidness? I saw many all together kind of thing already. Where you going temple for, boy? There you go with a line. Eat, drink, make merry, life short. Alright? Different distractions. That is what those things are, distractions. Want to pull you away. What do you do? What Arjun did. Arjun said, no, I'm praying. I'm advised to pray to Bhagwan Shankar, whatever. Devotees, the brahmachari, let's put it simply, he tried testing Arjun. Arjun said, no way. Actually, Arjun became angry. Why are you telling me these things, O Brahmachari? Your mind shouldn't be on power, because he was asking, you doing this for power? You doing this for success, whatever? Arjun said, why you ask me so, Brahmachari? Why? Is that in your mind? Don't, I am just worshipping Shiva. We have a problem. Shiva's grace will help us remove the, I am doing this thing on the advice of Ved Vyasji. Devotees. And so then Arjun, the Indra appeared in his real form and said, oh son, don't get angry. I'll just testing you. I'll just testing you. And you're qualified. But I can give you Vardhan. But the power that you need, you have to worship Shiva. You have to worship Shiva. You'll get that Vardhan. And so devotees, he was advised and to go to another spot now where Kailash Parbat, nearby Shiva, to worship Shivaji. And devotees, he went there and he made the lingam out of dirt and he began to worship as the scriptures have told us to do. Devotees, wonderful way Arjun performed his tapasya. He worshipped. But while worshipping and so on and so forth, devotees, time passed. Yeah? And then what happened? One day, a very powerful demon, he appeared. He appeared right where Arjun was about to, well, where he was performing his devotions. So devotees, while they are performing his devotions, Bhagwan Shankar also, his disciples came and told him, oh Lord, look, this person here, some man outside there performing such tapasya. He's all about, save us, the devatas in distress. And Bhagwan Shankar smiled and said, I will go, don't worry. And Bhagwan Shankar, devotees had to come there. And then Arjun sitting there praying, unwavering devotion to Shivaji. This demon of devotees, he wanted to come and, again, how he came there? Duryodhan sent him. Duryodhan sent him. So he came there, but he assumed the form of a boar, a huge boar. A hog, no? Real hog, big hog. Knocking down trees, very vicious, very violent, grunting, pigs grunting, or whatever. Grunting coming, loud noises. And Arjun saw that. And now Shivaji, he appeared in a form as a hunter, but with other hunters. His disciples, they all assume hunter forms. And devotees, they stood there, a distance away. This hawk coming towards Arjun. Arjun saw that. I feel Duryodhan sent this, And devotees, it's very instructive. He saw the attitude, the behavior of this hog, how he behaved, his actions and so on. So devotees, sometimes in life we are lost. Let me tell you something simply here. The Shiv Puran tells us, as Arjun is going through his head, right? He says, your conduct determines your lineage, your family. Each person, when I say life is like an open book, understand what I'm telling you? How you behave, you must try to behave real good in certain circumstance, but I'll catch you off guard otherwise. And I must see how you behave in. Your behavior determines your family. What kind of family you come from, what kind of lineage you come from. Okay? This is why, again I'm saying, you can't hide. The body determines the diet. Hari? The body determines the diet. You know what that means? When I say how the body is, whatever, it determines what you eat, how you eat, etc. Generally. Your speech determines the extent of learning. Now this is why you see it's good when you see you go Yagya, wherever you go, don't watch how nice the place is now. Years ago and even still up to now, people like the Baba so much, he's very handsome, when he smile like God smiling. That's all you see. You hear what he's saying? That is where the problem is. You hear nothing. You're caught up with superficial things. But if you listen carefully, you would know learning. Your speech determines the extent of learning. And devotees, the eyes determine the affection. The eyes determine the affection. Yeah. Now, the mind you could conceal whatever, But how you move, everything about you will determine, will expose your mind. Yeah? But let's look at the swan devotees. This is why I look at, COVID, everybody wearing masks, all you see is the eye. No problem. Right? The features on the eyes, they determine affection. Now, there are 4 kinds of conditions, if I put it like this. Just to put it in brief as we go through. There is the resplendent look. There is the impassioned look. There is the squinted look. And there is the ruddy look. Ruddy, eyes inflamed. When one sees a friend, a genuine friend, the eyes light up, resplendent look. You can see from the eyes. Yeah. So if somebody come into you, you know if you're a friend or not, now watch the eye. Yeah. Devotees, you see a son, well, especially the son, Could be a daughter too, but here they speak of son. Impassioned look. Because people like their sons, they want their sons, especially mother and son. Watch how mother was his son. Compare how she was in her husband. Totally different, man. Totally different. Yeah. So the impassioned look, right? Son. Squinted look. Now they mean cookie eye, Squinted look. Beloved. You see all the sweet eye thing that's come on thing? All the wink eye and thing, what do you call it? Yeah? Squinted look. Beloved. And devotees, when you see an enemy, negative, ruddy look, the eyes become inflamed, become different. You look into the eyes, you'll be able to see everything. Arjun was looking at this boar, and this is why it came about. The attitude, the behavior, he cannot be anything good. Because you could see everything, the eyes, dilating, angry. This had to be an enemy. Duryodhana sent him. And devotees, Arjun decided, let him have it. Arjun put his arrow to his bow. At the same time, Bhagwan Shiva assumed the form of the Kirat, the hunter. He from a good distance away, he saw this boar. And to protect Arjun, he said, I need to shoot this boar also. So what he did? Arjun devotees in front of the boar, Arjun behind. Krishna Bhagwan, Shivaji behind with all his gun and so on, but in the form of a hunter. Bhagwan Shankar released an arrow, and the devotee is sorry for that boar. The arrow went through the tail of the boar, come straight through to his snout and come down and stick in the ground. So he dead stand up himself. But at the same time, Arjun released his arrow. Now notice Arjun in front. The arrow went through the snout and go right through the tail. Come on, fell on the ground. This boar dead 2 times. He fell on their dead devotees, but 2 arrows here. 2 arrows here. So what? Bhagwan Shankar told his disciples, he commanded his little army, go and bring my arrow for me. And when this individual came, the Bhagwan Shankar's arrow would be by the snout, because it came through. And Arjun's arrow would be by the tail. Devotees, when he came to pick up the arrow, Arjun went to pick up his arrow, and confusion started between them. How can you take my arrow? Arjun is saying, that's my arrow. Look, my name is in it, so to speak now. All the signs on it. Right? It's my arrow. The gun of Lord Shiva says, something wrong with your head or what? How that could be your arrow? This is my master's arrow. Right? You are sage, you fooling people. How you could shoot an arrow? You fooling people. You're pretending to be holy. From ever since this is happening, Devotees, serious conflict started between the 2 of them. And then Arjun said, go and find out from your master. You have my arrow. This is my arrow. This disciple went back to Bhagwan Shankar and told Shivaji what had transpired. And Shivaji decided, okay, so now it's time to meet my devotee. Yeah. So devotees, now it's time to conclude. I will complete it next time. All right? What I am saying that, watch what is happening here. Is a whole battle starting. Something had to go with a discourse between the 2 of them. Arjun and Bhagwan Shiva. Arjun did not recognize Shiva in the hunter form, but Shivaji knows everything. And they're fighting devotees right there. But at least one enemy defeated. the hog, he defeated. But Arjun, now devotees, is confronting that form that he worshipped. Shivaji. He's going to fight with Shivaji. Is this right? Is it wrong? What was the outcome? Tune in, same time, same session. Next time, devotees. And we will look at this point they call devotion through confrontation. Devotion through confrontation. So devotees, we will continue with this discourse. But bear it in mind, everything we have said so far. It's a very lengthy discourse. I'm trying to put this simply to you. But we'll conclude it. And we'll understand how Shivaji appeared and what weapon he gave to Arjun so that he would be able to win that battle of Mahabharata, Kurukshetra. Okay? So devotees, what is said here, to listen to this katha, to recite this katha, one will get all desires fulfilled. All desires fulfilled. So I've been reading it to you. It's come from Shiv Puran. If you listened, yes. But just be careful what desires you seek. That's why I keep saying, let us leave it everything in the hands of the Lord. Lord, I just want you. I just want you. If you are with me, I lack nothing whatsoever. I have no expectation for anything otherwise. I don't want to set up myself for God. Nah. So devotees, this is the power of the katha. And when we conclude it next time, those of you who are here, well, that's the conclusion of the katha. It is said the fruits come to you. Okay? So at this point we'll conclude. Gaudiya Shri Umapati Mahadeva ki. Devotees, we prepare for the final havan. But while this is being done, let's glorify Bhagavan Shankar. Deen Dayalu Kripa Sagar, Bhakta Vatsal. Yeah? Put our hearts, voices together. शिव शंकर भोले भाले भोले भक्तों के रखवाले तुमको लाखों प्रणाम तुमको मेरा प्रणाम। तुमने ये संसार बनाया सभी तुम्हारी माया छाया। तुमने ये संसार बनाया सभी तुम्हारी माया छाया। सर्पों के माला वाली कैलाश पर्वत वाली तुमको लाखों प्रणाम तुमको मेरा प्रणाम। तुम जल में तुम अंबर में तुम हो नगर नगर घर घर में। तुम जल में तुम अंबर में तुम हो नगर नगर घर घर में। तुम हो लहर लहर स्वर स्वर में कहा नहीं तुम हो जग भर में। डमरू के बजाने वाले दुष्टों को मिटाने वाले तुमको लाखों प्रणाम तुमको मेरा प्रणाम। हर 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 महादेव का नारा नर नारी घर घर का प्यारा। हर 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 महादेव का नारा नर नारी घर घर का प्यारा। दीप तुम्हारा तेल तुम्हारा दुनिया का सब खेल तुम्हारा। खेल खिलने वाली, त्रिभुवन को नचाने वाले, तुमको लाखों प्रणाम, तुमको मेरा प्रणाम। तुमको लाखों प्रणाम, तुमको मेरा प्रणाम। हे शैलगिरीश्वर उमा महेश्वर, काशी विशेश्वर सदाशिव। ओम शैलगिरीश्वर उमा महेश्वर, काशी विशेश्वर सदाशिव। ओम सदाशिव सदाशिव, ओम सदाशिव सदाशिव, सदाशिव सदाशिव, ओम सदाशिव सदाशिव, सदाशिव सदाशिव, ओम सदाशिव शंभु सदाशिव, सदाशिव शंभु सदाशिव, ओम सदाशिव शंभु सदाशिव, सदाशिव शंभु। शैलगिरीश्वर उमा महेश्वर, काशी विशेश्वर सदाशिव। शैलगिरीश्वर उमा महेश्वर, काशी विशेश्वर सदाशिव। ओम गंगनपतये नमः स्वाहा, गौरी माता स्वाहा, पृथ्वी माता स्वाहा, पंचलोकपालिवाय स्वाहा। ओम नमो नारायणाय स्वाहा, ओम नमः शिवाय स्वाहा, नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय स्वाहा, सूर्यादि नवग्रह देवाय स्वाहा, ब्रह्मग्नये नमः स्वाहा। ओम ह्रीं श्रीं चंडिकायै स्वाहा, ओम क्रीं कालियै नमः स्वाहा, महालक्ष्मी माताभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा। ओम श्रीं ह्रीं सरस्वत्यै स्वाहा, ओम श्री ईश्वरी देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री परमेश्वरी देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री शीतला देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री महाअन्नपूर्णा देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री मंगला देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री चंदी देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री मनसा देवी स्वाहा, ओम ह्रीं षष्ठी देव्यै स्वाहा, ओम श्री तारा देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री षोडशी देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री भुवनेश्वरी देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री छन्नमस्ता देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री भैरवी देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री धूमावती देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री बगलामुखी देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री मातंगी देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री कमला देवी स्वाहा, ओम श्री हेमावती देवी स्वाहा, सर्वदेवीभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा। ओम श्री हनुमते नमः स्वाहा, सीतारामचंद्रायभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा, राधा कृष्णाय नमः स्वाहा। ओम श्री इष्टदेवाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री कुलदेवाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री अष्टान देवाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री ग्राम देवाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री इतर कर्म प्रधान देवाय स्वाहा। 5 times again, वास्तुदेवाय स्वाहा, 33 करोड़ देवताभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा, सर्वदेवता सर्वदेवीभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा, अनंत स्वरूपाय ब्रह्मणे नमः स्वाहा। ओम श्री गुरुवे नमः स्वाहा। Please all stand, devotees. We will perform our final offering. We concentrate on Bhagwan Shankar. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shambhavaya cha Mayobhavaya cha, Namah Sankaraya cha Mayaskaraya cha, Shivaya cha Shivtaraya cha. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Purnamidah Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Sarvam Vai Purnagvam Swaha. Achman. Om Sarva Papaharam Divyam Gangeyam Nirmalam Jalam आचमनं च मया दत्तं गृह्यतां पुरुषोत्तमः ब्रह्म अग्नये नमः। बोले श्री उमापति महादेव की आरती प्रार्थना। ओम साजं चावर्ति संयुक्तं वाहिन्ययोजितं मया दीपं गृहान् देवेशे त्रैलोक्यतिमीरापहं दीपं समर्पयामि।
Bye.
So the Sutta has complete the arti. Let's conclude positive, very positive vibration. Panchakshar mantra. Visualize Bholinath. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Pahimam. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Rakshamam. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Pahimam. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Rakshamam. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Pahimam. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Rakshamam. Om Namah Shivaya. Pahimam. Om Namah Shivaya. Rakshamam. Shiva Hare Shiva Rama Sakhi Prabhu Tribidhata Panivarana He Vibhu Aja Janeshwara Yadav Pahimam. Shiva Hare Vijayam Kuru Me Varam. Shiva Hare Vijayam Kuru Me Varam. Pratidinam Kushalam Jai Mangalam. Pratidinam Kushalam Jai Mangalam. Mangalam Bhagwan Vishnu Mangalam Garudbhaja Mangalam Pundrikaksha Mangalayatanu Hari. Om Avahanam Na Janami Na Janami Visarjanam Pujang Chaiva Na Janami Chamyatang Parmeshwara Parmeshwari. Om Gacha Gasura Sreshta Swasthani Parmeshwara Yatra Brahmadeyo Devas Tatra Gachutasana. Om Labhasti Shang Jayasti Shang Kutasti Shang Parajaya Yesham Indi Varshamu Hridayastu Janardana. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Duk Bhag Bhavet. Om Gachatvam Bhagwan Agni Swasthani Kunda Madhyata Hutamadaya Devebhya Shigradehi Prasidame. Om Mantrihinam Kriyahinam Bhaktihinam Ganeshwara. He Parameshwari, He Sadashiv, He Janardan, He Kapishwara, He Agnishwara. Yat Pujitam Maya Deva, He Devima Paripurnam Tadastu Me. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamasu Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Om Tvameva Mata Cha Pitah Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. बोले श्री गजानन स्वामी की जय, वृंदावन श्री कृष्ण चंद्र की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय, आर शक्ति जगदम्बा माता की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय, बोलिए श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय, बोलिए श्री स्वाहा माता की शुभमस्तु. Blessings to all. Kindly be seated, devotees.
Sitaram. Saraswati Puja for students who are writing exams would be held on Sunday, March 26th at 7:30 a.m. Students who wish to sit for puja can give their names to Auntie Rhoda, Auntie Annie or Auntie Rupati. Ram Navami celebrations will be held on March 30th at 9 a.m. and Hanuman Jayanti celebrations will be held on April 5th at 5 p.m. Devotees who wish to sit for puja on these events can give their names to any members of the executive. A gentle reminder to retain all membership forms as soon as possible. Those who are interested in getting vibhuti from Shivratri can collect from Auntie Rupati. There will be chautal practice after service. Anyone who would like to join the group are welcome to stay back. I'd now hand over to Isha, who will make an announcement for the Social Services Committee. Sitaram.
Hi everyone, Sitaram. As Praveen mentioned, I'm representing Gyan Deepak Social Services Committee. The purpose of this committee is to provide support, advice, and assistance to those in need. We aim at creating a positive social change and development to the people and communities within our country. Of course, one of the ways that we're geared to achieve this goal successfully is with adequate funding. Twice for the month, we would like to host a cafeteria and variety sale at the very beginning and at the end of each month. This is where you, the members of Gyan Deepak, can in your own very simple way become part of this drive. If there are any items you would like to make for the sale on the day, and any variety and household items, groceries, clothing, etc., that you would like to contribute, you can please inform our committee secretary, Aditi. I would like to appeal the variety items should be new items and in good condition. There is no pressure on anyone. It is at your convenience we are welcoming your assistance in cash or kind. In addition to the monthly cafeteria and variety sale, the committee is also planning a raffle in the near future to raise additional funds. Today marks the official opening of Gyan Deepak Social Services Committee Cafeteria and Variety Sale for 2023. And you can take note of our next sale scheduled for 26th of February. Today we have a very healthy breakfast planned, bread and chow mein, bran muffin, and a bottled water for an economical cost of $20. Before I end, note we will be taking advance orders guaranteeing your meal or snack box on the day. We want to keep it nutritional, fun, and most importantly, delicious with value for your money. Thank you, Sitaram. And on your way out, please pick up your breakfast box. Have an awesome day, everyone. Thank you again.
Thank you, Isha and Praveen. On your way out, pick up your breakfast box. What leave you $20. Okay? You have to be careful. Then pick up the box and you go with it. It's for sale. Okay? It's to raise funds for social services. I like to make things quite clear because sometimes, miracles happen in Gyan Deepak. Yeah. All right, Adi. This morning we have Adi and Vani Disat perform Havan. Today is the 17th wedding anniversary. So congratulations to both of you. 17 years together and going strong. We want to wish you many more happy years ahead of you. And As we have been saying over and over, put your faith, believe everything of Bhagavan Shankar. You can't go wrong. Right? Indra, blessings to you. Nice that you have come this morning also. Life will have all its ups and downs. And as you heard this morning, if you think you have problems, others have much worse. But we have to face whatever comes our way and we go forward positively. This is the best we can do. Put the Lord in front and go forward. Blessings, nice to see you. And it'll be nice to see you coming again, if I bring you. Blessings. So devotees, also note that next week, well, actually the Kharwas prayer begins Tuesday, right, from about 7:40, I think, 8 o'clock morning time. So the Kharwas prayer Bhagavad time officially begins Tuesday. And it will conclude on the 20th of this month, March, right? 21st. So the 22nd Navratri is going to begin. Next week we'll have service as usual, except that we won't be doing any Havan. And next week Trinidad will be celebrating Phagwa on all sides. So if you want to bring your Phagwa and so on, it's not Phagwa, Abir, and your powder and so on, you could, outside you could play. Right? And come with bucket and water and thing to wash on after. Right? So it's an auspicious time, but service will be as usual. I want to let you know also on the 19th, the following Sunday, there will be no service Sunday morning. But some of you may be aware by now that we are having a kirtan, an evening of kirtan, bhajan, from 4 o'clock on the 19th. So this is, everybody is invited to come and become part of it. It's a long time we didn't have a pure kirtan session. So this is just pure kirtan, about 2.5 hours, from 4 to about 6:30. Right? So we invite everybody to become part of it. So there'll be no Sunday morning service, but service will be in the evening, 4 o'clock. Just kirtan bhajan. This course is, focusing on the divine. So we're looking forward to you joining together with us. And then on the 26th, which is the following Sunday, service will go back to Havan and so on. As you heard, we'll be doing Saraswati Puja. For all those who are doing exams, SCA students and, CSEC students, CAPE students, come join together. We'll perform Saraswati Puja for your benefit on that morning. Okay? So devotees, this is for today. Bear it in mind what we have said, and next week we will continue with whether Kirat kill Arjun or Arjun kill Kirat. Or you come to, no, not Virat, eh? Some of you who listen quick would say Virat Kohli. It's Kirat, right? Kirat. So wonderful to listen to these glories. So next week we'll wrap it up, that session of it, right? So devotees, blessings to everybody, and we look forward to seeing you. Prasadam, stand up. Sita, Jai. So devotees, remember Arti, Prasadam, and your breakfast. Cost $20, right?